Sometime between 2015 and 2018, I one day decided to record footstep sound effects for my game. So I headed out in the middle of the night around 1 AM and started running on different types of terrain. The reason I did this at 1 AM is because I lived in a small town, and at that time there would be no cars driving by or people talking or even birds chirping. At one point I even trespassed into the playground of a daycare and ran inside the sandbox to record this sound. A few days later, it rained, and I decided to make the ultimate sacrifice of running inside a puddle to record the final piece of the puzzle. All these footstep sound effects were recorded for my first project and later on used in the sequel, as well as my other projects. At the time of recording, I used my Zoom H1 handy recorder, which happens to be the same microphone I use today for my YouTube video recordings. But the microphone, in my opinion, was not necessary. A smartphone could have easily done the job. So if you are a bit short on cash, don't worry about it. Now, let's talk about other sound effects that I use in my games and how I obtain them. One of the most iconic sound effects from both my games is this one. The Tiki are one of the most dangerous monsters from my first game, so anyone who played that game probably got shivers sent down their spine when I just played the sound. Probably not. Anyways, here is how I recorded that sound. That's right, a toothpick plastic jar, probably the same one. At the time, I must have overlaid the sound and then changed the pitch or something. I don't remember, it was 5 years ago. Let's have a look at another sound effect. That is just me making a wind sound with my mouth. And again, all I did was change the pitch or the playback speed of the sound. And then I did it differently for the second sound. Now let's move on to the elevator. Right, so for this one, I had this thing laying around in my house. And that is the end of that. Most of my sound effects are created by me. Some are public domain sounds made by others, and in certain cases, they are a combination of both. In the past, I also used a few royalty-free sounds, but these days I only stick to public domain. The difference between these two is that one requires attribution and the other one does not. Also, public domain sounds can be edited and modified as much as you want. One lesson to learn from all this is that you can use anything to make sound effects. So I'm going to leave you with this video, link in the description.